Hi folks, it's Rick Isaac again here. Hey, I just wrapped up a fantastic webinar on something that really stood out for me and I had a lot of questions about. So I wanted to share with you here and just to give you that real understanding of how you can set yourself up for success in the health and fitness industry. And what do I mean by that? Well, look, people need to know who you are and how you work and what you do. And you also need to know how they work and what they're prepared to do. So not everyone that I work with is a personal trainer. I work with Pilates businesses, with some yoga facilities, and even some masseurs. And it's a very, very common theme here, whereas most people want more clients and they want to generate more leads, etc. But what I start with first with all of my clients is how do they make sure that they're positioning themselves in the right way so the sales process, which it sounds like it should be at the end of that marketing and then sales comes next. But sales is really critical. If we're not getting that right, it doesn't matter what you do in the rest of your funnel, it's not going to lead to converting. And what do I mean by converting? So if you've been in the industry for more than 6 months, you know that there's good clients, and then there's what I call the emotional vampires. Those people who are really not committed to doing the work required. They typically miss sessions and often at the last minute, so you're waiting there for them for 5 or 10 minutes only for you to message them and they say they forgot or they got stuck in traffic or they're not going to make it today or whatever else. They often don't follow any of your additional coaching plans, whether that's nutrition or whatever else, and they don't get results. And then unfortunately, a lot of the time they blame you. Because you said you'd be able to get them these great results and you didn't. So it's not your responsibility to get the client's results. It's your responsibility to create an environment where they can get the results, but they must be committed to doing that. Now, I promise you, and I see this with businesses right across our industry, if you have 20, 30% of your business who are those emotional vampires or the people who are just not committed, it's going to be exhausting and you'll very quickly burn out because they take so much effort and energy and you're so passionate about helping people. That's why you do what you do and you love it. But when it becomes such a challenge and you're dragging them towards the results, that's too painful and too exhausting. So how do we make sure that that doesn't happen? Well, first of all, you need a great sales process, which is not about selling, it never should be. It should be about making sure that they're the right people for you and vice versa. And this actually starts further back up in the chain. And it's what I call know, like, and trust. So they have to feel like they know you. And so how do we do that? Well, you can just randomly blurt out stuff on social media and that sort of thing, but really we need this to be part of a plan. So, but you do want to share who you are. You don't have to get into the nitty gritty and the skeletons in the closet, but they want to know who are you? Why would they work with you? And by sharing some of those things that you do, and not always the good things, you can share mistakes as well because everyone makes them and that makes you a lot more appealing to people. But we need to share who you are. That's going to help you to break down the no. Remember, stories are incredibly powerful here. Tell stories about, obviously truthful stories, real stories, but about things that you've done and successes you've had or maybe failures that you've had as well, either personally or professionally. That really is going to create space for others to feel comfortable working with you. You don't have to be the best of the best of the best. You just have to know and understand what they're going through. Okay, so that know is really important. Then like is the second one. And this is really important. You have to be you. I see so many professionals invest in really slick, amazing marketing and it's all done for you here and done for you there. And it doesn't even sound like you and it's not reflective of you. Now, it might attract leads and clients, but if they don't like you and if they don't like your philosophies and your team, they won't stay. And you just end up with a massive churn problem. You're desperately trying to get more new leads and clients in all the time because the ones you have just keep leaving. So if you are who you are and they like who you are and maybe you're a little bit controversial, maybe you've got a sense of humor which not everyone connects with, good. Let them know about that up front. Because if they don't like that and are not going to be able to work with you, then let's not even go there in the first place, okay? Because again, they will cause you so many headaches. 20% of your clients cause you 80% of the problems in the business. So know is the first one. They've got to make sure that they know you and they feel like they can trust you. And it really helps to be vulnerable. And then they must like you. They've got to like who you are. Now, you don't need to get into talking about religion and politics and stuff like that. That's not the important thing. But who are you and what do you stand for? And what is your personality type? And that's why videos are so important, because that can come across really easily, okay? And then the last one is trust. And that's your credibility. Why would they work with you? Now, obviously things like qualifications, and whether that's certifications or degrees or diplomas or whatever it might be for you, additional courses you've done, we want to share what those are. You don't need to go through the details of every biomechanical piece of that particular course, but we need to let them know that you have done this course, that you have expertise in this area, and in this area as well. And then we also need to know, how many clients have you worked with? Who have you actually helped? And is it someone like them? Because again, and I talked about this in another video, when you're looking upstream at your marketing, you do want to be really clear on who you're targeting. When you fill your business with like-minded people, then let's say I'm your target market. I see someone else who's a 54-year-old male who wants to lose a few kilos or a few pounds. Well, suddenly I feel confident because you've worked with people just like me. So that's the benefit of having a really clear avatar, which isn't too wide, it's quite narrow and niched, but it means you've got a business which has like-minded people. So testimonials are really important. And then if you've done any other things, maybe you've done some charity work, maybe you've done some speaking, maybe you've run some events, maybe you've even been in the media for a variety of reasons, then let them know about that as well. Make it clear to them that you are someone that they can trust. You're not here today and gone tomorrow. This is going to and is your career, and you're going to be there for a long time, however long they want to keep working with you and you serving them. So those are the critical pieces in the know, like, and trust department. Now that starts in your avatar creation, and when you first set up your business, it follows through with all of your funnels and information and education that you create and marketing materials, and it's critically important in the sales process, so that we really do weed those out who are not going to be a good fit. That means you fill your business with committed and compliant clients who get great results, who are raving fans, who refer like nobody's business, and leave absolutely glowing testimonials anywhere and everywhere you ask them to. Okay? Hope that all made sense. If you've got questions and queries, by all means, type them in the comments below or send me a DM. The webinar was awesome. We had a lot of questions around it, so I hope that's cleared it up for you. And think about how you can apply this to the things that you're doing. Know, like, and trust. It's an absolute critical barrier that you have to reduce and have to enable your clients to get over. And that's when you'll get a business full of those people that you most love working with. I'll speak to you soon.